We're down to the final 4.
I want to win this so much now.
2 expert judges to decide who wins.
We're looking for a great cook who can make it as a professional. Someone to turn out exceptional food under pressure.
I want to win this more than anything I've ever wanted before.
The prize, to work in a top restaurant.
This competition just gets tougher. Whoever wins, it's going to change their life.
I really want it now.
MasterChef is going large. It's the semi-final. The 4 remaining contestants are about to be thrown into the hardest and most challenging 4 days of their cooking lives. And on Friday, one of them will be sent home.
Oh, my word. You've got 4 cooks now that are going to get given tasks that are going to encompass all aspects of professional cooking.
Now the pressure's on. The bar is raised. This is where we find out what these guys are all about.
To up the ante, the semi-finalists are going to be tested on their teamwork and ability to cope catering for mass numbers.
You bit off a little bit more than you could chew here.
Then it's back to school to dish up lunch for 500 hungry and demanding young customers.
Kitchen's a tip. You need to get your heads down and rock and roll a bit, please.
This means more to me at this particular moment in time than anything else in the world.
The closer it gets, the more and more focused and determined I get, and the more competitive I get.
I'm amazed to be in the final 4. I'm still in a complete state of shock.
I want this and I want it badly, so I'm going to do whatever it takes to win it.
Any one of the 4 semi-finalists still has a chance to become MasterChef.
Welcome back, guys. Today's task is about teamwork. It's about working with each other, because in the professional world, you will have to learn to work as a team. And as such, you are now standing next to your team mate. Oh yes, you are now officially partners in today's task. What we want you to do today is to cook us 10 plates of the same breakfast.
You'll have no problem, but you're going to have to work together. You can do it. Let's see you do it.
Time starts now. Cook.
The teams need to create a breakfast dish from any of these ingredients: bacon, black pudding, mushrooms, parsley, tomatoes, eggs, bread, summer fruits, cream and maple syrup. They will have to cook 10 portions of this dish in only 40 minutes. The judges will be looking for tasty, imaginative breakfasts and good teamwork.
It's breakfast. Can you make breakfast attractive, exciting? Can you make breakfast consistent for 10 people time after time? Because in the professional world, that's what you've got to do.
I think the major problem we're going to have here is that our cooks are going to want to do elaborate meals. And if they do that with a time limit, we are going to have chaos.
Team A's first member is haute cuisine specialist Ben.
Well, yeah, I was thinking pan perdu.
Ben's an excellent technical cook whose quarter-final dish of chicken livers showed his huge potential.
That starter was amazing. The way that worked gives me a glimpse of what could be absolutely amazing.
Ben is aiming to cook at the highest level.
I'd love to be recognised at the kind of Michelin star level.
But will fancy cook Ben be able to bring it back to basics for today's challenge? And how will he get on with his teammate?
I've got some Tabasco, actually. Tabasco, fantastic.
David's an excellent traditional British cook.
You should be proud of where you're from, and you should be proud of the food that you eat if it's good tucker, you know.
In his heat, the judges were blown away by his take on a classic suet pudding.
That pudding is an absolute triumph.
David's hearty British style has been a winner so far. But how will his hearty breakfast ideas go down with his haute cuisine partner, Ben?
Anything I was thinking with the potato kits, we have got quite a lot to do. The other option we could do, if you wanted to include the potatoes, just grate them and do really, really thin rosti.
Rosti for breakfast?
How you doing, guys?
Fine so far. I'm trying to go for the traditional and get that
that packed full of flavour punch in there, you know, not losing what it should be all about. And Ben's just sort of bringing a little bit of class to it, I think, you know.
Ben. Yep.
Yes, Greg?
You don't have too many component parts to this breakfast, do you?
There's a fair few component parts, yeah.
I see Ben and David as a bit of a dream team, actually.
The thing is with David, he's an old-style, great British food cook, and Ben is out there somewhere with modern food. How are those two going to come together to produce a great breakfast?
Whoa. Oh, fireworks. Team A, Team B, you are halfway.
Maybe we can do like a light... Yeah.
French toast,
Yeah.
fruit compote.
Experimental cook Hannah loves making surprising combinations.
I really like to sort of give people dishes that they're not expecting, and for them to actually turn around and say, you're being experimental, but it works.
Some of Hannah's risky flavour combinations have astounded John and Greg.
I think the flavours are divine.
But despite her great talent, not all her dishes have gone down so well.
The idea of blueberry, saffron, duck, lavender repels me.
Can she leave her experiments behind her in today's task? The other half of Team B is Stephen. He has an extraordinary natural cooking talent, but often takes on too much in the time he's given.
I'm doing smoked eel pate. After that, I'm going to do some quail stuffed with chicken livers. Dessert is going to be profiteroles with lemon cream and lavender syrup.
Are you completely mad?
I probably am. I think ambition is good, it drives me, and I think I like to set quite high goals for myself.
Stephen will have to show restraint to have any chance of competing in today's task.
Who's the boss here?
There isn't a boss, we're working as a team.
Absolutely.
Are you comfortable as a team?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Very much so.
Because you've got to remember, it's not just cooking it, is it? Plating up 10 plates of food.
Exactly. No, it's enough time, but we need to
Get on.
Get on.
Does this mean go away baldy?
Yeah.
Here you have got two very, very elaborate cooks who really like to push themselves.
Their minds are both so creative. Are they going to be able to concentrate on the task and produce great plates of food? It could be all over the place.
5 minutes left.
With time running out, the pressure is beginning to show on both teams as they attempt to plate up 10 identical breakfasts.
I'm shaking so much.
Don't worry.
I can't stop shaking. What is
Don't worry.
Michelin standard, yeah?
It tastes nice.
Is it?
Yeah.
While Hannah and Stephen frantically plate up their fruit compote, Team A has a last-minute disaster.
Look, we run out of eggs.
Get some off the first one.
I can't sauce over it. There's one going to be without eggs.
No, mate. Just take some off the first one.
Hang on.
While David deals with the lack of scrambled eggs, Ben is adding tomato sauce.
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't be too chefy.
Then decides to add a splash of maple syrup to finish off the dish.
All down, all done, finished. Well done.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Time's up, but David is not happy with Ben's finishing touches.
Yeah, you know what I would have done? I would have put it on the side. Sauce.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Oh, mate.
Hannah and Stephen went for a fruit compote served on French toast with maple syrup-infused cream and a fruit coulis.
How'd you get on, guys?
Good.
All right.
Consistency-wise, I think you guys have done very well. They all look like they are the same. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so. I think what was clever is you set yourself a task that was more than possible in the time that you had. Warm, soft, creamy, hint of honey, and natural juice sweetness. I think the whole thing's a delight. Absolute delight.
I love the idea of it. Soggy French toast, and then all these berries and lovely cream. Your fruit has a sharpness about it, which is great. The sauce is sweet and mellow. The bread is nice and sticky. Yeah, seriously good. Seriously good.
I'm not really used to cooking sort of volume dish, so, you know, that was a new skill today to practice cooking the same dish for 10 people.
To this standard, when you feel the pressure, it's taking me out of my comfort zone.
David and Ben have produced 10 plates of crispy bacon, black pudding, potato cakes, scrambled egg, homemade tomato sauce and a splash of maple syrup.
How you doing, guys?
Fine, thank you.
So.
Where's that joyous look, guys? Come on.
Consistency, we obviously have problems, don't we? We can see differences in the amount of egg, differences in the amount of sauce, and differences in the way the sauce has been plated. I would hazard a guess and say you bit off a little bit more than you could chew here.
I think you're probably right.
I like the idea of these little pancakes. I think they're great. Very well done. Lovely crisp bacon, nice soft potato, tomato sauce, just a touch of spice. The black pudding's a little bit lost, for the simple reason the prevailing flavour is maple syrup. Where did that come from?
Well, you know, there's...
Sorry, I'm not taking the blame for that.
It came from me. I stick my hand up for that one. There's a little bit of maple syrup and the sweetness to counterbalance the spiciness that we had in the sauce. It was my mistake on the maple syrup.
Did you not want to put the maple syrup on there, David?
I would have thrown the maple syrup in the bin doing a dish like this myself.
Guys, are you pleased with what you've done today?
I'm pleased with the teamwork, I think the communication.
It's a bit of honest food with a bit of tarting up front, Ben.
Stop it.
Thanks, guys. Remember the little lessons you've learnt today, because I'll hold you in good stead for the next task.
Well done, you as well. How much trying yummy things.
Today's task was about volume. It was about understanding that food has to be presented consistently all the way through. It was about working as a team.
I think that Stephen and Hannah worked very well together.
I'm really pleased with how the task went, although slightly scary towards the end.
Hannah and Stephen's lovely idea with the French toast, and then the cream with the maple syrup through it was absolutely delicious.
I have a history of trying to bite off more than I can chew, so I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to make that same mistake.
Ben and David, full marks for their adventurism, but it didn't come off. David is still trying to serve us British food with a good old British fry-up, and Ben is adding haute cuisine in the guise of maple syrup.
It was a bit of a mess, to say the least, at the end, and it's primarily my fault.
The most interesting thing for me today was to watch David portion out that egg and not to actually think he had to get 10 portions out of it. And by the time he got to the last 2, he had no egg left. He was stealing off other plates.
Sounds like I'm pushing the blame here, and I'm not, but Ben decided to guess how many eggs that we needed for the scrambled eggs.
Obviously, the combination of Hannah and Stephen was much better than the combination of Ben and David. I hope they've learned from today, and I am so looking forward to tomorrow.
After an exhausting and stressful day, the contestants need to regroup, as tomorrow they will have to rise to one of their toughest challenges yet.
I'm expecting to be driven all the way now. There's every single day being pushed and pushed and pushed.
The closer it gets, the more and more focused and determined I get, and the more competitive I get.
I'm going to try my absolute hardest to win this.
Very excited to know what we'll be doing today. Now it's time to just sort of sit back, relax, and do what I'm best at.
It's 8 a.m. on day 2 of the challenge. And the pupils of Erith School in Kent arrive for another busy day. And in only 4 hours, 500 of them will enter the dining hall expecting hot, delicious food, which our 4 semi-finalists will be responsible for cooking.
Welcome to Erith School, and I bet you can guess why we brought you here. Now, this is building on what we learnt yesterday about teamwork and catering for numbers.
This is your first lesson today in understanding who your customer really is and tailoring the food to them. Good luck. 4 hours' time, 500 hungry kids.
The contestants will work in the same teams as yesterday, under the command of Head of Catering, Stephanie Spratt.
Yeah. All right, come with me.
The teams have 4 hours to decide what to make and then get it ready in time for the hundreds of hungry but fussy children.
We have a combination oven at the back. In the buckets you've got rice and flour. All right?
Righty-ho.
OK, so let's work out what we need to do.
Each team will have to cook 250 portions of food, including a meat dish, a vegetarian dish and a carbohydrate dish, using only the ingredients of the school larder.
If this operation isn't planned correctly and they start running around like headless chickens, chaos will be the result.
It's really exciting. In 3 hours' time, every single one of these seats is going to be completely full of people eating their lunch.
Ben and David struggled in the breakfast challenge yesterday and now need to prove they can work as a team.
I think the Ben and David combination is a very, very tricky one.
They decide on a British classic for their main dish.
That's going to be a popular choice, fish and chips.
The boys decide to cook 150 portions of the fish and chips. This means cooking batches in the deep fat fryers, which will take good teamwork and perfect planning.
It takes 3 minutes to make a fish, to fry a fish off.
Well, I don't know, if you've ever been in a chip shop, it takes longer than that.
3 minutes.
The boys will have to pull together on this task and start agreeing, as they have also decided to cook 50 portions of shepherd's pie and 50 portions of vegetarian chilli.
Ready
We
for
have a
dipping
few
in the
herbs
fat.
in the shepherd's pie, a bit of rosemary. Yeah?
Not rosemary. What are you doing here?
They can go in the veggie chilli.
Really? Do you want to put them in there? A bit like this at the moment, because we're having a bit of a clash of ideas, me and Ben.
I know what I'm doing, he knows what he's doing, and hopefully we'll come together at the end and we'll have a good product out.
Hannah and Stephen shone in the breakfast challenge yesterday, but will they get too overcomplicated today?
My prediction is that Stephen and Hannah will think about this as a whole picture and they will get to the nth degree very, very simply.
For their menu, Hannah and Stephen are making vegetarian pizzas, pasta and a chicken dish.
The overall philosophy is to chuck in as much hidden vegetable as possible to give the kids, you know, good nutrition. We're going to keep things fairly simple so we get it all done in time, hopefully.
But before they can start on their sauces, they need to get the portions of their pasta right.
Allow 50 grams per serving, and there's 3 kilograms in this box. So that is
3,000, so that's...
divided by 2, 100... That can't be right. My maths has gone. 150 portions of pasta?
Ben and David are also working out the size of their portions.
All I'm going to do is go, right, there's a kid, right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5...
But in order to make what we need to make, we need to figure out how many grams per kid to be able to get the proportions to make the amount of food that we need.
Okay.
My biggest nightmare is not producing enough food to feed these children because they will riot.
It's now 11:30 and the teams have just an hour and a half before the dining hall is full of expectant children. Stephen has taken charge of his team's protein meal, which is 50 portions of chicken stir-fry.
This is colossal amounts of food. It's just a case of keeping a very watchful eye on time.
His teammate Hannah is in charge of a slightly experimental wholemeal vegetarian pizza.
Kids love pizza, but this has got courgettes, tomatoes, and it's made with wholemeal bread.
She has to make the dough from scratch, and it has taken up a lot of valuable time. As she moves on to make the pizza topping, disaster strikes.
I can't use this now, can I?
Hannah's just put her team back at least half an hour as she now needs to remake the pizza dough from scratch.
The bowl is so heavy, it's not something I'm used to, and it's fallen off the table, so I really need to get some more. 1.8 plus 9 is 2.
Hannah's lost her pizza dough. She needs to pick up now and really, really move up a bit, get this food out.
Stephanie just said that there's a possibility the pizza's going to be quite popular, so I would probably, if you can do another tray...
I've just lost it on the floor, so I've got to have to start again.
Oh, OK.
I was already worried it wasn't going to be cooked in time, but never mind. We'll get there.
I know, when you finish with that mixing bowl, I need it desperately.
Please, can you just go away? I'm not going to be beaten by some pizza dough.
Meanwhile, David's found a smaller mixing bowl and is making the batter for his fish and chips.
As far as batter's concerned, I am actually going by instinct here. The way I look at it is, if I can fill one of them bowls up there with batter, that's more than enough for 150 portions of fish. I'm cooking for the kiddies, so let's just hope that it's enough. When you're using other equipment and different utensils and you're cooking for this amount of people, you know, I think it's difficult to try and understand what you've got to get in there. So I'm erring on side of caution, I'm doing bucket loads of it.
With the batter completed, David heads back to help out his teammate Ben.
Okay. David.
Yes?
Your fish batter, are you confident you've got enough for 150 fish?
I guess that might be enough.
I would have treble the volume you put in the fish.
Seriously?
Yeah. He made the batter, didn't weigh anything. He just did it purely from what he thought. He had 1/3 of the quantity that he actually required. David, how
Yes.
are you doing?
Fine, I'm just getting on with this other batch of batter now.
You need to hurry up.
Yeah.
And I want this kitchen cleaned up
Yeah.
before any of you go out on that front counter.
Yes,
All
no
right?
problems at all.
Thank you.
Whoa.
With under an hour to go, David needs to make a lot more batter, leaving Ben to pick up the pieces. Make the vegetarian chilli, cook the rice, and prepare the shepherd's pies.
There's a lot to do. Using equipment we never used before, steaming potatoes, but we're getting there, you know.
All right, kitchen's a tip. You need to start cleaning this up and actually get your heads down and rock and roll a bit, please. Yes, chef. Well done.
With Hannah remaking the dough, Stephen is anxious to prove they can get everything done in time.
There's a lot still to do.
There's 40 minutes left and the pasta sauces are done, but Stephen really needs to finish his chicken stir-fry.
You lost the dough. Have you caught up? Are you okay?
I think I am.
All right.
My biggest worry is that my pizzas aren't going to rise in time, but I can only do my best.
Hannah and Stephen are back on track.
David, you just want to come and test these, make sure we're in agreement with the flavour on this?
Will do.
And David and Ben think they're on track to finish on time too.
Andabidozi.
The chili's done.
Yeah.
The shepherd pies are in.
Yeah, I'll be fine with this fish and chips. Spot on,
Yeah.
spot on.
David, we start cooking chips at 2:15. It's now 10 past. I would get some chips in the fryer.
With only 20 minutes to go, the boys learn that they are way behind with their chips.
You really need to be moving. I think that Ben and David are far too relaxed. They've underestimated the cooking time of cooking chips and cooking fish. I think they've left it too late. I think they're well up against time to get the stuff out onto the counter so we're ready to take out the service.
David has started cooking the fish, but there's a huge amount of frying to do. The other side of the kitchen is a very different scene, as Hannah and Stephen have pulled themselves out of trouble and are now well on schedule.
Here we are. They've risen. I can't believe that we're ready after dropping my dough on the floor and making 2 batches of dough. So,
Do we need some grated cheese for the
bolognese. Yeah, there's bags of it in the fridge.
The communication between Steve and Hannah is excellent. They're working hard, they're working up a sweat, they're dancing around the kitchen.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been tough, but we've worked well together and we feel like we're on time. I mean, not everything's perfect, but you can't aim for perfection when you're catering for 500 people.
Ben and David are also taking meals out to the counter, but with 5 minutes to go, they're still not anywhere near the fish and chips they need.
I'm not sure there's many fish shops that have 150 people queuing out.
But you don't drop any of that in there. I'm just going to keep my head up and see if I can get them all out.
David can only fry 10 pieces at a time, so he'll have to stay behind and continue cooking when Ben takes on the students at the front of house.
And you're going to have somebody else with you.
Chips. Chips.
Mashed potatoes.
And to make things worse, before the kids even arrive, Ben and David's shepherd's pie gets its first bad review.
It doesn't look good served up, it's not presentable, it's not holding together, it's falling apart, doesn't look like shepherd's pie.
It's 1 o'clock. The teams are almost ready. They've been slaving in a hot kitchen for almost 4 hours, producing 500 hot meals. The moment of truth is about to arrive.
Guys, I think you've done really well.
Thank you.
Will they go? Oh, here we go.
Oh, my God.
The children descend on the counters and Ben, Hannah and Stephen are selling hard.
Shepherd's pie, fish and chips.
Pizza and chips or some noodles and bits.
What would you like?
Freezing outside, need a hot meal inside you.
David is stuck at his fryer churning out fish and chips as it's proving a big seller.
Fish and chips, yeah?
Can I have fish and chips, please?
Yes, sir. You are on fish over there?
I chose fish and chips today because it looked really tasty.
Thanks very much.
We've got some lovely pizza.
15 minutes in and Hannah is struggling to get any takers for her vegetable pizza, but gets full marks for trying.
Would you like to try the pizza? Lovely pizza. Please try my pizza.
And as predicted by Dawn, a dinner lady with almost 25 years' experience, the boys' shepherd's pie isn't a popular choice.
Shepherd's pie? No. Shepherd's pie, anybody? No. Come on!
Teammate David pops out to help sell the shepherd's pie.
Got to try and sell some of this food.
Have some pizza because it's really nice.
The shepherd's pie's all right as well.
Hannah's hard selling starts to pay off. The pizza begins to fly out.
Chips and pizza? Yeah? Great. Chips and pizza.
Got some really lovely pizza. You will? Oh, thank you.
And it's packed with the kids' least favourite ingredient, vegetables.
I had chips and pizza. The pizza was really nice.
We sold a lot of pizza, which is good. What can I get you?
After nearly 5 hours and 500 hot meals, the contestants are exhausted. And it's time for John and Greg to find out who is top of the class.
The end of lunch, it's all done.
Absolutely.
MasterChef semi-finalists in there. 4 people. You gave them a baptism of fire. Do you think they did all right, Stephanie?
All credit to them. I am so impressed.
How did Hannah and Stephen get on in there?
I would say Steve and Hannah work very well together. They're a close team, and I was quite pleased with what they produced.
Tell me about Ben and David.
If I had to pull anyone back, I felt like I was constantly pulling them back. Not because they were particularly doing anything wrong, but they were losing track.
Look, you've still got to work hard. It's fantastic what you've done today. It's been a huge achievement, and I hope you've learnt something small which you can take on the journey with you.
There is so much more to come. So much more to come. It's all to play for.
We're sitting freeze-thaw. I just realised I don't like you. To come away and feel like, you know, we did well again is fantastic. But we're all still competing with each other.
I will do my best. I'm just going to keep grafting along myself. I know we're working in teams, but it is an individual competition. I am looking after number one.
It's a real boost to my confidence, you know, that 2 days in a row we've managed to pull it off and not run out of time.
I really wanted to come back strong today, but I've just got to work harder and hope that things start to go my way a little bit more.
Just focus your minds, you're all getting a bit panicky.
So the meat is fantastic. I think that was disappointing.
The time through this is unusual, and not unusual in a nice way. You should be very proud of what you've done today, because I think you've taken a step up.